Hi guys, welcome back to Bitesize Excel. In this week's video, we're going to take a look at some useful shortcuts that you can use to insert and play around with charts within Excel. I'm also going to include in the description below a link to my Google Drive where you can download a copy of this workbook and either follow along or have a play around with it in your own time. So in this example spreadsheet, we've got some data in, and say we want to include a chart. What you can do is you can select your data, and rather than going to your insert and picking your chart up here, you can use one of two keyboard shortcuts. Now the first of these is F11. What F11 does, it creates a chart of the data that you've selected in a new sheet. So if we try that, clicking F11, you'll see that it's created a new chart here called chart 1, and it's included it as a bar chart. So basically what it does is it looks at your data and it picks what it thinks the most appropriate type of chart is. If you want to change the type of chart it is, click on this button here and you'll get all your different types of charts and you can pick whichever one suits best. Now what I find more useful, if we go back to the original tab, is to use the second keyboard shortcut, which will basically put a chart into your existing worksheet. And this is Alt and F1. Or if you're using Mac, it's the Command button and F1. So you'll see that shortcut has put in the same bar chart that you've got in your Chart 1 tab, but it's put it in your existing sheet. And again, what you can do is you can change the chart type, or if you want to format it, we can use yet another shortcut. So you can either select your whole chart area or select an element within it. And if you want to format it, you can hold down Control and 1 and it will bring up your format sidebar. So in this instance, I've selected my bars. So it's brought up my format data series. Obviously, if you were to click on your axis, it changes to your format axis tabs. Or if you go to the whole chart area, it'll come up with that option. And you can have a play around with your different formatting types. I've got some other videos on how to format and play around with your charts. I'll link to those in the description below. Now, another useful shortcut is how to duplicate your chart. So in this instance, I've got data for 4 different shops. I want to have the same type of chart for each one. What I can do, I can click on my chart, hit Control and D, and it will duplicate that chart. If I then select on the data in there, I can come up to this box here and just drag it over to shop 2. And you'll see that your data is updated. Another way of doing this is to again click on your chart, hold down Control and just drag, and it will duplicate it. And again, I can just drag my data over. And you can do this as many times as you need to create a chart for each of my shops. The next shortcut, which I find very handy, is snapping my graph to my grid. So what I can do, I can select my chart, I can hold down Alt, and if you look when I'm moving it around, what it will do is it will pin it into the corner of my cell. Now if I resize my chart, I can make it exactly as wide as the cell, and you'll see I've aligned the 4 corners with this very long cell. What happens now when I expand this column, the chart automatically resizes. Similarly, if I change this row, it'll automatically resize with that particular cell. So you can do this with all your different charts. If I hold down Alt, I can align it within my square. And if we do that for all 4, you'll see my formatting has gone a bit wonky because my cells are too narrow. But then if I were to make these all in equal size, column width, for example, if I were to go to 40 and make my row height 200, you'll see that those have all resized with my cell. So the next shortcut that can be useful to use is copying your formatting. So if we were to quickly come over to my chart design and change how this chart looks, just pick some of the preset options and say I wanted all my font reduced and I want to copy this across all my different charts. We can hold down our chart and we can click Control C to copy. If we click on our new chart, what we can do is we can paste special. So if we come up to our clipboard, click on paste, go to paste special, and if you click formats and click OK, you'll see that that's updated. And we can do this across all our charts. And then if we do it on the last one, paste special, formats, you can see that they've now all updated to the same format type. Now, one last shortcut that we're going to look at is how to copy data and add it to an existing chart. So say we want to actually display all these on the same chart. So if I go to this Shop 2 chart and copy it, and then click on Shop 1 and click Ctrl V to copy, you'll see that it's added in Shop 2 to Shop 1. Alternatively, we can select our data. So if I want to add Shop 3, click Copy, select my chart, Ctrl and V, and I've pasted it there. So by either of these two methods, we can suddenly add it all into a single chart. So if we just expand that, you can see that within this chart, we now have the data for all 4 shops on one chart. So that's just a really quick overview of some of the shortcuts that I find really useful to use when playing around with charts within Excel. If you've got any particular questions, please do leave me a comment. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos with follow-along files that are available to download. Remember to like and subscribe, and I do look forward to seeing you in a future video.